Hello and welcome to another video by the Minecraft Nerds. Today we are playing Kerbal Space Program. This is post commentary, so yeah, the video has been sped up to 2x speed, and yeah, this video is going to be a short demonstration on how to get a small probe or a small ship into orbit and then back down to Earth in a nice, pretty easy way. Sort of a beginner's video. As you can tell, I've already placed down the command pod, and that's basically the main thing that's going to be holding the pilots, the cockpit. And there I put a parachute on, and then I put two larger parachutes, SAS unit, on the bottom of that decoupler, which will disconnect the entire ship. Then I went searching for an RCS tank, and then, yeah, and then a larger tank. It took me a little longer to figure out because apparently one of my mods decided to stop working. By the way, I'm not going to be using any mods to build this ship. But yeah, there's the small tank. Then I shove a nuclear engine on the bottom. Those are really fuel efficient and really good for stuff like that. Then I put an air decoupler on the bottom. This is like the only mod I use is the RCS tank things. I'm not sure if they're in the full version or not, but I'm pretty sure they're from a mod. Then I add a structure thing. I'm not sure if that's in the real thing either, but yeah. Then I put on some tanks for the, this will be the third or second stage, sort of the getting orbits, getting the orbit made, and it requires lots of fuel. Then I put on these side decouplers in order to make the first stage, which will help me get into space. They're sort of like boosters. When they run out, I'll go ahead and decouple them from the ship and bring them back to Earth, leaving only the main body, and then I can use the main body to move the ship into a nice pretty orbit. And there I use some struts to keep the ship stable and secure and not wobbly. Yeah, I'm almost finished. This is I've got the main bit of the body built. I just need to add a couple more struts, and then I need to add the launcher thing to give it a much more stable launch, so that it doesn't launch off its engines, because that wouldn't be exactly good. Yeah, put those on, and yeah, then I put so yeah, it's a simple, really easy sorry. Trying to speak really fast to keep up with the video, but yeah. So I go ahead and name it Tuber 2 because this is actually my second version of it. So yeah, now I save the probe, and now to move it to the launch pad. Okay, here's the launch pad. I go ahead and disable or lock the gimbals because I only want the middle one to have gimbaling. Then I bring up the throttle a little bit and blast off. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so it seems a pretty stable lift off. There didn't seem any shaking. Here I am trying to take a picture. I'm not sure if this is going to be the official one or not, but thumbnail video picture. All depends. I've actually through this video I actually take several of them. So on the left you could see that it was overheating, so I went ahead and throttled down a little bit to keep it steady. Here I'm just messing around with the throttling. As you can see, the fuel for the side tanks are running out quite quickly, and so I'll be decoupling those pretty soon. And pop, I think I decoupled now. Yep. Okay, so those are gone. Now I'm just left with the single engine and the main body of the ship. As you can tell, I'm trying to get my apophis as pretty high. This is where the RCS tank comes in play. It's allowing me to sort of turn the ship. Otherwise, it's quite difficult just using the command pod's torque. But yeah, it seems pretty stable. I get it just above the horizon because I'm pretty sure by the time I reach it, I'll be a little bit, maybe a couple meters past the Apophis area, and so I'll be able to get a nice stable orbit around Kerbin. And so yeah, I speed warp to get over there quickly. Sort of speed warp to 3, and then I'd go down to 2, and then I go back to 1, and then repeat until I finally was able to reach the correct position I wanted to get to. So yeah, here I am now, about the right area, and I start to burn. And there you go, see the orbit is starting to stabilize or get larger. Yeah, Bill down there, he looks excited. Go ahead and get some cockpit views to see what's going on. Yeah, so far the flight has gone very, very successful and stable. Also, I'm not sure if you guys will be seeing the video in not very good resolution, as in it will be hard to read the words, but I tried to fix that by going into full screen mode, but it still seems a little foggy from my point of view. Okay, so here I am trying to, get it as far as I can without going too far, and then I realized I have tons of fuel. I mean tons left for, well, not tons, but yeah, so I try and burn it all out because I want to be very efficient, but it ends up getting me a little bit too high of an orbit, which is okay because in the end, spoiler alert, in the end I end up getting a nice stable or location to get down. So here I am decoupling to my next stage. I go ahead and end this flight so that I don't have this little bit of debris floating around in space, and then I go ahead and get into back to my probe, or back to the ship. As you can see, it's a little wobbly. I go ahead and try and position it so it's pointing up north on the ball. And so far, everything has been excellent, and it works great. So yeah, now I go ahead and take some more cinematic pictures. Still not sure if this is going to be the official one that I take. All depends. I did actually speed warp here so that we spin around the planet or orbit around the planet a little bit, so I could actually get a sun picture so that the Kerbin would be just a little bit to the left of me, and this Kerbal, which is the sun, will be in the background shining on the ship. So I had to be very careful how I did this. Again, this is sped up to ×2 speed, so it's actually a lot slower than it seemed. Really precise. So here's my next picture. I might actually make this one the official thumbnail. Not sure yet. Okay, so now I need to pick out where I want to land. I want to make sure I land in the ocean because this thing doesn't have any landing gear. It's designed to splash down into the ocean. So I go ahead and use my RCS thrusters and my SAS to sort of turn myself in the right direction to slow down. But it ends up just same thing. I just popped up to the bottom position. But now I stop the speed warp and start to turn a little bit. And I'm now on the slow down thing. I'm not sure what it's called, forgot, but it will allow me to slow down the ship using the thrust main engine. So now I go ahead and burn, and as you can tell, my orbit is starting to decrease. And I got through the window. I got a really nice view of Kerbal, which is really cool. And there you go. It's almost down into the atmosphere layer. Now it's in a collision course with Kerbal. But as my mouse has pointed out, I need to land right around in the middle of the ocean there. I got about 4 minutes flight until I reach the atmosphere, maybe 3 minutes. So I go ahead and actually decide I want to go a little outside my ship, some IVA. So I get my Kerbal out and flies around a little bit. Then I try and get some cinematic pictures with this because, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so far the mission has been very successful. I think this is one of my most successful missions yet for simple orbit and then re-entry missions. Normally I end up have something goes wrong, something blows up, but I think the Tuber 2 is a really good design. I'm actually thinking about uploading it and putting the download link in the description, but I'm not sure if that'll work because I have a couple mods included in the pack, and I'm not quite sure what those mods are called. But anyway, I decoupled and now I'm in the just the command pod. And I'm going down into now I speed warp down into the atmosphere deeper core. There I look through the porthole and have a nice little view. Bill looks like he's just not giving a crap. And below us is the Kerbal Space Center. Just, wave my hand at it. La 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 la. And now here we go. Some atmospheric effects we got going. And it's slowing down the ship greatly. So now I go ahead and activate the parachute to sort of even out our descent and slow us down to around 50 meters per second or 100 meters per second, and to keep us going straight, pointing straight up. So I go ahead and wait for the moment to cut the string, because, yeah, I cut that string, and then I go ahead and actually activate the second layer of parachutes, and voila, just in time. It goes straight down and opens. So this was quite a really good, successful mission. I think I will upload the thing, but you know, actually, I'm gonna wait for you guys. If you guys want a download link to the ship, just leave say it in the comments, and I'll go ahead and later update the description. And so yeah, splashdown, and yeah, so everything seems successful. I go ahead and roll the command pod onto its back, and get the Kerbal out so he can go swimming. Oh, and he just rolls off onto his back. La la la. So yeah, so if you want the ship, just leave it in the comments, and I'll go ahead and update the description with a later media fire. It will be ad-fly, I think, so that I can make a little bit of money to help support the channel. But anyway, this has been a video by the Minecraft Nerds. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video if you want to see more Kerbal Space Program. And yeah, and so please do subscribe. It'll help the channel out greatly. And if you feel so, go ahead and donate. There is a link in the description. Thanks, and peace out.